I went to Home Depot and bought some wood this morning, and it's 3/4 by 16, and they call it white wood. And of course it's a soft wood, but I suspect it's mostly spruce in this particular bunch. And I've just laid it out side by side, so in actual fact it's 15 1/4 inches wide, but anyway, I bought enough to make my table 7 feet by 7 feet. That's my goal. My table right now is 5 feet by 5 feet. So I figure if I add 2 feet to each side, I can add 1 chair to each side. So instead of 2 chairs on each side, we can go to 3 on each side. So that's my idea how to make it to a 12-person table when I need it. So the first thing I've noticed that when I lay the wood side by side, some of them are not 100% straight. So I think I'm going to take my straight edge and just trim a 1/4 inch or so off of each side to make sure they're true enough to glue to each other. And I'll do that first, and then I'll biscuit them together, cut it to the exact size, and then I'll decide how to cut it or how to make it easier to store. I'd like to have room just to leave it all in one piece, but 7 feet by 7 feet, I have nowhere to keep something like that when I'm not in use. So I'll see what I do. Stay with me. We brought our pieces into the house to check them for size, and my idea of 7 feet by 7 feet overwhelmed the dining area. So we thought about it for a while and decided to make it a little smaller, so I recut the pieces, and now it is 6 feet by 6 feet, and it will allow for 3 chairs on each side. You wouldn't want any smaller or 3 feet. The 3 chairs on each side wouldn't work, but it will work. So that's it. That's the sub top. It's ready for being finished. I'll put an edge around it and I'll stain it, and we'll have the option of having a larger table whenever we want. When I cut the tabletop to the size I wanted, I had pieces left over, and now I'm applying them to the perimeter of the tabletop. They're about 6 inches wide. I've glued them. Brad nailed them with 18 gauge nails. And this will serve several purposes. One will help stiffen the top so it doesn't cup and warp as easy. Also, it'll give me a look. It'll look like the table's 1.5 inches thick, which will make it look normal, while remaining only 3/4 inches taller overall, because it's 3/4 where it sits on the other table. And there's my biscuits. I glued them in on one side so I can make the others to the other side and clamp it with a couple of clamps like you might find in a store-bought table to hold 2 tops together. So now that I've finished that step, I can go on to routering, sanding, and getting them stained up. Quite easy actually, it doesn't take very long. I haven't spent much time on this table. Well, this is the end of another project. Finished table subtop is 6 feet by 6 feet, and it's sitting on a knotty pine table that's 5 feet by 5 feet. So even though it's only a foot bigger, it will sit 12 instead of 8. A couple nights ago we had quite a few over, and we used the table with 12 chairs around it, and you wouldn't want it any smaller. Probably be better if it was 4 or 6 inches bigger, but our room wouldn't really allow for that. So anyway, 6 feet by 6 feet. And I used the spruce shelving from Home Depot that I glued together. And of course it's in 2 pieces. The seam is sort of where the black line is here. it's a tight seam. It worked out really nice. And I think it's going to work good. We won't use it all that often, but we will, it's easy to take off and store somewhere, hopefully. So, hope you like it.